Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Cantor Ben Ray and I are honored to be back on the Bima together, and it's a real treat that we are here to celebrate the very last Shabbat of this year, 5783, together, and with our scribe, Neil Yerman, who always enhances and inspires and beautifies our Shabbat with a special teaching, particularly from Torah, in which we are inspired for the year that was and the year yet to come. It is hard to believe where the summer has gone, but it is wonderful to be back in our sanctuary. For those of you who are joining us over the live webcam, we welcome you and wish you a Shabbat Shalom and hope there will be many good reasons for you to come back into our sanctuary soon. And of course, it's wonderful to welcome John back from his summer travels and always how he enhances the musical portion of our service. So Cantor, we're going to start.
We're going to begin with a song for Elul Achat Sha'alti, which you can find on page 662 at the top of the page.
What an appropriate tune to welcome this, the coming week of the new year, and to get us in the proper mood and for our hopes and dreams of the year to come. But before we welcome Shabbat formally, we do have a memorial candle here because this week comes with the memories of course, 9/11. And as we look back over the course of this year, so many other tragic occurrences that took place in our own country as the result of Mother Nature, as the result of war, terrible unrest amongst peoples, and of course, terrorism always that is at play in Israel. And so I thought it appropriate for us to light a memorial candle in remembrance of so many who lost their lives this past year. And in years past, 22 to be exact, since 9/11, as we remember and pray that the light which shines from this memorial candle will brighten our world with greater hope. So if there is a particular historical incident that you remember on this day, please feel free to share it with us. Are there any that people remember? How quickly the news fades as we remember all those lives lost in the wildfires, in the horrific fires of Hawaii, and all the numerous hurricanes. Of course, Ukraine and their aggressor is Russia. Well, it was a good thought to light a memorial candle. We'll try one more time. But,
That we can maybe use the other candle to light it.
oh, that's a good idea. Thank you. Let's see if that'll work. Oh,
Extinguish the other
it was
one.
a thought. All right. But with all the hopes and dreams, and thank you very much, Josh. Leanne, may I invite you up, please, to light the Shabbat candles, and then I'm going to invite Josh to come on back up. And as his first official duty as student rabbi, he's going to be given the honor of holding the sweetness of the Kiddush cup and lead us in Kiddush. We're on page 120 and then page 123. Hey Josh, just like the comments. And page 123 for the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu
Eloheinu
melech
melech haolam,
Borei peri hagafen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,
Asher
קידשנו מצוותיו ורצה בנו,
v'shabat
קודשו באהבה ורצון, חינכנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תהילה למקראי קודש, זכר לציון
מצרים, כי באנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל ושבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת. Amen. L'chaim. Most appropriate that Josh should do the Kiddush, because he needs that wine after his first full week of orchard at Mountaintop. It's been an exciting week throughout our halls, and more light and warmth to both Lynn Ann and to Heather, as they embark on an exciting year of learning beginning on Sunday morning. So an exciting week around here. We're going to continue with a wonderful song on your song sheet called L'chuna Ranana from Psalm 95. Nothing better than a musical Shabbat to get the spirits moving. And so we turn now to page 138 and 39 for Lachadodi. And of course, on the last verse, we're going to rise and face the doors as if we are welcoming the Shabbat Queen.
He
rise for the 9th verse. And let us remain standing as we turn to page 146 for the call to worship the Baruch Hu. And we continue as we turn to page 153 with Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated. We're on page 154 with the Via Haftarah. Haftarah et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha
ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Page 157, let's read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
And though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. We turn our thoughts now to the words of Hashkivenu, these words of comfort and healing, where we ask God that we go to bed at night protected, and that we wake up protected, alive, sheltered beneath the wings of God's peace.
And we're going to continue now as we turn to Tefillah, page 164. I'd ask everyone to rise, please.
Adonai, sefatai tifta, ufi agitei latecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor Adonai, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevi'ula Livnei Bneihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'aha, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Hakol atah Rav Ve'Hoshia, Morid Hatav. Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, U'matir Asurim, U'mekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'at Yehurot, U'midom Elach, Melech Memit U'mechayeh, U'mazmiach Yeshua, Ne'emanat L'Chayot HaKol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei HaKol. Atah kadosh Shemcha kadosh, u'kedoshim b'chol yom yehallelu chasecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
You may be seated as we turn to page 173, and let's join together at the top of the page. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
It's important that on Shabbat and every day we find time to take stock of all of the blessings in our lives and say Modim Modim Anachnu Lach, let us give thanks. Today we're going to be chanting a very simple setting of this text, which you'll find on your song sheets.
Thank you, God, for all your gifts.
And what a beautiful segue into a few moments of our own private meditation in which we have the opportunity to give thanks for the blessings of the past week, the challenges we may have overcome, and the hopes that we may have for the future. We pause for a few moments.
Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me.
Always on Shabbat, we think of those who may need some extra prayers of healing. So if there's someone you are thinking of now and would like to share their name, please feel free to do so, or you may name it within your heart. And we join together in the Misha Berach, a prayer which asks for healing, and if healing cannot be their ultimate gift, that they have the ability to endure. Misha Berach
Avoteinu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength
had the good fortune of welcoming our Sofer Neil Yerman to the Bima and to our congregation under many different circumstances. And we've heard about his expertise and his love and passion for Torah and the inspiration he brings. But tonight I introduce him as a wandering Jew, because in just a few short days he literally will be wandering the seas for the high holidays with his wife. And as you do so, Neil, we wish you safe travels, waters that are calm, and may you return to us in good health so that we may complete our Torahs. But for your teaching tonight, we welcome you back to the Bima. Thank you.
Oh yeah, we're there. Okay. Shabbat Shalom. And welcome to your temple. Always have to say that. So in tonight's little talk, we seek to answer two questions that seem to be eternally with us. Are we alone? Are we alone in the universe? We can do that in 10 minutes, right? Just say no, but let's see how we get to know. So, a word of Torah. This week's portion is, it's two portions, actually. Nitzavim Vayelech. And I thought it would be good to really start with a word. The word is you. That's the translation. And the Hebrew word is atem. And we usually go, you are standing here this day, all of you. And then Moses names the officials, all of you who have gone through the travels, all the officials and the wood choppers and all of you who have the various jobs who came through, and as the narrative goes on, who came through the terrible tsuris in the desert. I think Moses said tsuris, well, something like that. It's a paraphrase. The things we've been through together was the gist of it, and look, we're standing here this day. You. Who is Moses talking to? That's a question. Who was Moses addressing? What were they thinking, they who were there on that day, after what they had been through? So, just somewhat past 3,250 years ago is when we're talking about. Torah was still developing. We haven't seen a Torah until 440 BCE, purportedly, by Ezra the scribe. And that is about 2,463 years ago, not to put too fine a point on it. Wow. A lot of deserts crossed. A lot of periods of 40 years, 20 years, 80 years, 100 years. So let's take a look at the word. So this is, as usual, I promised not to I might mention some numbers, but I'm going to stay away from numbers tonight, okay? Pretty much. But it's hard to do that if you're really looking at the layers, peeling away the archaeological layers of Torah and the roots of the letters and the symbols that those letters portray, because they really inform us as to direction of finding answers, maybe to questions we hadn't even asked about the word you, atem. We love that first letter because it has no sound until a vowel appears below it. And even then, it has no sound. Aleph. It's miraculous, isn't it? So I'm going to ask these questions not rhetorically in the air as if you weren't sitting here. So I'm just going to ask. The Aleph is a picture, and it comes from the picture of, big hint, an animal. Name the animal. It's a mammal, and it's a mammal that can be found in a barnyard or near one. It's an ox. And thank you for calling out an answer. I love that, because otherwise, am I standing here? Okay, this is very good. So it's an ox. And basically, it was two horns. So I'm drawing in the air again. You know me well enough. That's something that I just do, right? And it has two horns, yeah? And it has a yoke right underneath it that the horns, there's the horns and there's the yoke, and then there's a nice round face and two dots for the eyes. And that is a Phoenician symbol. Cool. Turn the picture like you do on your iPhones when you want to kind of turn the image. You turn it like 90 degrees, and all of a sudden the horns are this way and the yoke is that way. So now I'm going to draw it this way. There's the yoke, and there are the horns. I just drew a 1st century Aleph. Cool, right? Who went to Hebrew school to learn to write script? Hands are going up. Good. A script Aleph. There's the yoke, and here are the horns detached at the bottom. See, it changes shape. So now, if you draw a slanted line, just like that, and you take one horn, and you attach it to the top, and you take the other line, you attach it to the bottom, that's an Aleph. Aleph was the Phoenician symbol. It was an ox. This symbol has had a long journey in the idols and statues and gods of the Hittites, the Canaanites, the Amorites, the Jebusites, the Egyptians. Whoa. Because the ox, the head of an ox on the body of a human being, was the way that Pharaoh was depicted. Interesting that El, God, comes from that. We lived in Egypt for 430 years. We weren't crazy about it, but we did live there. Suris, let's just pass over it. Oh, pass over. Whoa, it was a pun I didn't intend to make. So we have an Aleph, we have an ox. When you want to spread seeds, when you want to plant seeds, what do? You attach the plow to the ox, who pulls the plow, and you plant seeds. Ideas are seeds. Teachings are seeds. Seeds of learning, taught to the children of Israel in joy and in hardship. Aleph, that first letter speaks to every single one, because an Aleph is one as God is one. We say Ani, which begins with Aleph. It's a very powerful letter. And what's really great about the word Atem, which is spelled Aleph, Tav, Mem, Sofit. You, all of us. Et is a word. When we look at that word, from the spreader of seeds, and for each individual who carries those seeds, they must eventually walk to a place where there is another being who carries seeds, seeds of teaching, seeds of learning. We're still exploring now the second letter of the word. Where does the letter Tav come from? Well, if you're going down a road from north to south, there's a road. In the middle of the desert, there aren't that many roads. Has anyone driven through Iowa? You're going to drive many, many, many miles until you see an intersection. And then there's a east to west or a west-east road. And then you're at the crossroads. When the Torah refers to a meeting place, guess what? People are coming from different directions. The meeting place is the middle of two intersecting roads. We're going to meet there. Or they could have said, we're going to meet by Sal's Kosher Pizza, but probably not. It's a road, and that's where the tent goes up. And people who come from different directions are meeting in that place and sharing seeds of knowledge. By the way, what I just drew, this followed by this in the middle, what is that? What? No, come on, see it? It's a what? No, it's not a chet. Don't think Hebrew. 2 lines going like this, think symbol, and then put 2 lines exactly in the middle of those 2 lines. What? Yeah, it's a hashtag. It's a tic-tac-toe sign. See, it's like that. It's tic-tac-toe, right. That's the middle. If you look at the center square, like Hollywood Squares, center, oh, where did that come from? If you look at the center, okay, if you look at the center of the tic-tac-toe sign and you start outlining the box, and you're coming from this way, and you put up a tent, okay, and then you continue on the way you were coming, right? Well, you go up to the middle square, then over, then down, and then you continue. Bump, that's a letter Tav. It's the last letter of the Torah. It's the second letter of Atem. It's the meeting place at the crossroads. It's a really interesting symbol, isn't it? Mem Sofit. Simple. Mem Sofit. It's a square. Again with the squares. Okay, well, it's really not. It's 2 ratios. Okay. So, the resh. Where does the resh come from? The letter resh develops. This is like Phoenician stuff, goes way back. It's where Hebrew and Aramaic and Greek and Arabic come from, all sibling languages with very similar forms. Now, when we read Hebrew text and you translate it to English, more than half of the English alphabet actually comes from the Hebrew letters. I know it looks like Greek to some of us, but okay. So here's the thing. Atem. You who are standing here this day. A resh. So here's the resh. I've done this for some of you before. The resh is just basically that. Well, no. You're looking at it this way. That's a resh, right? That's the backwards image of our R. That's where we get our R. Okay, now, resh comes from the back of a head because there would be a forehead, a nose, 2 lips, and a chin in front of the back of the head. They just dropped the back, they dropped the front of the face and left just the back of a head, but it symbolized a being or a spirit. There is a spirit that comes from the heavens down to earth, and there is a spirit, maybe perhaps someone who was born on the tree of souls, as all souls are born, according to Jewish legend. And then going back the other way, the opposite resh, ruach to ruach, the spirit that descends and the spirit that goes back. It's continuous. And the sparks of the teachings of those who were present before us, and those many, 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 many millions of people are our ancestors, and those who are part of our breath chain. They live in us. Who is Moses talking to in the Torah portion? Us. You who are standing, okay, sitting. You'll be standing soon again. You who are standing here this day, you who are present today, Atem, from those who spread the seeds to those who met at the crossroads and exchanged ideas and enriched each other and enabled those seeds to be carried to faraway places on journeys through the world. We are composites of all of them. What then does this selichot, coming, mean? What does it mean? That we have to turn and do tshuva individually and reflect individually when it's virtually impossible to do so. That's a question. But the question, are we alone? Sure. Not really. Not ever. We never were. We were never alone. And to our ultimate teacher, to the ultimate one, the Holy One of Blessing, who guides our thoughts, who guides us in a journey of life. Perhaps we are also well advised to say, yeah, if we hear it inside, go to that place of meeting. Do your turning. Go to the meeting place. Be with the others who are also turning. There are many more present who are not visible, because we carry, each of us, millions of them in our past. All of those who contributed to our very breath and the fact that we exist. So when we look at this week's portion, let us not envision only the officials and the wood choppers and the people who have the various jobs. And we'll end with a little bit of arithmetic. An aleph is a 1. 1. And the tav is a 400. The last 4 letters. Kuf, Shin, Resh, Tav. Kuf gets a crown for holiness. Shin for Shaddai, the Almighty. I missed something. Oh, Resh for Ruach. Hello. Shin and then Tav for Torah, because Torah is the path and Torah is the meeting place. Atem 1, Tav 400, and Mem 440. 441. Simple addition. What's the number? 9. A number of resplendence. Tov. Tet is a 9, and Tov is goodness. Let this be a good and sweet and meaningful new year, and a happy and healthy new year to us all. Shabbat Shalom. Is this mine? I think it was mine. No, I think mine's here. Okay.
I think there's something that struck me also. Those same letters, atem, the same numerology, if you switch around the order, you have the word emet, which means true.
I'm glad you saw that. I forgot to mention it, and thank you for mentioning it.
So,
That's right,
yeah.
Emet. Wow, beautiful. I think Neil shows us the amazing ways you can play with the Hebrew alphabet. And there's so much to learn and glean. So thank you for bringing that forward to us. Our service is going to continue page 5. We're going to the Aleinu, I believe, page 586. And I'd ask everyone to rise, please.
Ve'lo samanu, kemishpechot Adonai.
I would ask that we please remain standing, because as we do each and every Shabbat, when we come together, we remember those who are no longer physically present with us, but very much alive within our hearts and within our memories. And on this Shabbat, we commemorate the Yortzites of Shirley Bruce, Harriet Fiegert-Chelnick, Shula David, Lana Ehrlich, Mitch Fleischman, Philip Gawant, Karen Lynn Go, Milton Califer, Susan Klaber, Anita Layfell, Rose Merdinger, Alan Merkin, Ricky Novick Morrison, Adam Sandler, Samuel Schwartzstein, and Elizabeth Turner. And we remember one whose life has been taken from us in recent days, Nancy Wolfe. Is there anyone else who is remembering a loved one and would like to share their name now? Please feel free to do so. Always, we think of those who have no one left to remember them. And as Americans and Jews, we remember those of the Israel Defense Forces and the American Armed Forces who have given their lives in defense of the land of Israel and our precious nation. We turn to page 598 for the Kaddish prayer. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayed kol be'Israel, b'gala uvizman kariv v'yiru amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam amei amaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu, le'alam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, ta'amiran v'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shalom rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. We pray that the source of peace will send peace to all who mourn and comfort all the bereaved among us, as we all say.
Amen.
And you may be seated. I'm going to look out at our president now and ask if he has any announcements for the coming week, because it is quite a week here. Thank you, Greg.
Karen gave me a cheat sheet. There it is. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm glad that you've joined us for this service this evening, in person or virtually. We also want to thank our sofer, Neil Yerman, for joining us this evening as we are coming to the end of our year of Lashana Torah. Thank you for your Devar Torah tonight, and we look forward to speaking with you at the Oneg. A few reminders: this coming Sunday, September 10th, J School starts the year at 9 a.m. There is still time to register your children before then. Erev Rosh Hashanah is a week from tonight, and we'll be having a 5:30 p.m. service. The deadline for registering for services is on Sunday. After that, Karen will hunt you down, and you'll need to come double. For those of you who have already registered, your confirmation email is your ticket. You can either print it out or show it to one of the ushers electronically if need be. We have a lot of exciting programs and events planned for this year. The best places to learn about that, what will be taking place, are either in your weekly e-blast and also on the temple website. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
And if your appetite has been whet tonight and you would like a little more Torah study tomorrow, we're joining together again at 9:30 for Torah study with Neil, and we'll look forward to that. And then followed at 12 noon with a special history as we look at our own Temple Har Shalom Torahs and find out from where they have come and the stories they tell. I know we're very excited because we've never actually done that. We've never looked at all our Torahs to learn their history. So very excited. We hope you will join us. And now, Cantor, I know we're ending with a special new song, right?
It's a song that I love to bring back this time of year. In the streets of Jerusalem, you hear this from the start of the month of Elul through to Sukkot. It's Adon HaSlichot. This is the Sephardic piyut that is specific to Slichot, but also to this time of year. You have the words here: Master of forgivings, examiner of hearts, the revealer of depths, speaker of justice. We have sinned before you. Have mercy upon us. Adon HaSlichot.
Indeed, tomorrow night starts the official period of Slichot, those prayers of pardon. And when we get to the ultimate day of Yom Kippur, of course, we can't begin it or start it with Hallel. So we're going to do it today and hopefully add to our bounty as we say,
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon.
please join us for our Oneg Shabbat and make sure you say Shabbat Shalom to those you know and especially those you don't know. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.